things. Black Lives Matter. Why does that statement cause such an uproar in the United Snakes of America? Why in 2016, black people, descendants of the ones who were brought here and exploited, beaten, ill-treated, mistreated, abused, used by the evil, white, genetically inferior, demonic scumbags, who somehow or the other, well, not somehow or the other, who via their evil, their ruthlessness, their heartlessness, their cruelty, they've been able to control the African planet Earth's most dominant human being for centuries. Why? Because we compassionate, we humble and greatly naive, because we allowed them to come into our continent and opened our doors to them and civilized them, made them almost human, because they cannot be human, they don't have hue. They lack pigment, so they cannot be human. But we made them almost human by civilizing them. We made them slightly higher than the apes. Yet somehow or the other, I guess out of brute, raw hatred and envy and everything else evil, because they realized they could not be us. They could be like us, but they could not be us. So they decided to devalue us, which is the work of the devil. The devil devalues, and they set out on a mission to devalue the African. So from the time from 1492 onwards, everything around these parts of the world was nothing but trials and tribulations for the black and the brown man. There is no point in the history of America that shows you that they give any respect or regard or consideration to any life but white lives. Why should this be allowed to continue still in this day and age, knowing facts, knowing scientifically we are the most superior humans on this planet? Because they have weapons of death, because they have proven themselves to be very ruthless, and they have proven themselves to fear only ruthlessness. Fortunately or unfortunately for them, they have a patent on it, and anybody else who exhibits ruthlessness has learned it from the Caucasian. The next would be the Arabs, the suicide bombers, and then which are people they train. These are people they facilitate. Why? Everything they've done, this if you're thinking as a chess player, because that's what life is. It's a chess game, and the ones at the top manipulate the pieces below. Every chess player, every avid chess player, every chess player worth his salt will tell you that you gotta think at least 2 moves ahead. So every time they take guns, weapons, ammunition, arms to the Middle East, to the Gaza Strip, well, not Gaza Strip, Israel, because Israel is ISIS. When they take guns to these places and bombs and grenades and rocket launches and all, they know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly that at the end of the day it's going to end up in the hands of a specific group of people. And these are the ones they use to authenticate, to legitimize their evil, ruthless rampage across the planet. Why? Because they can put it as fighting terrorism. The world knows the most prominent, most famous, historic terrorist group on planet Earth is the Ku Klux Klan. Every black organization that arose to defend black lives, because black lives have never mattered to the pale, pink, genetically inferior, demonic scumbags, has been attacked, destroyed, slandered, all with federal permission. Yeah, because a lot of people think, well, oh, America's free, and after slavery and the Jim Crow era and all the other bullshit that people usually say. Slavery was never abolished. It was polished. The greed, the evil, the envy, the avarice, the laziness of the white man that brought slavery into being did not go away. It was just polished. So slavery was just polished. Many of us are still slaves to the white man. In the private sector especially, they pay you per hour. They will bring in entry-level non-qualified white individuals and pay them at a much higher rate than they would pay their highest qualified black staff member. And that is a fact because I live it. So I know that the evil of the white man has no justice in him. He has no honor in him. He will not pay the black man according to his ability. He will pay the black man according to his color. And in that we know his evil nature. Yeah, there are a few good ones. You got Tim Wise, you got Jane Elliott, and I'm sure there are a few more, but very few. The white man, like white blood cells when they run rampage on the body, is an indicator of disease. And the white man is a disease to planet Earth. And the only reason they have gotten away with what they've gotten away with against the strongest people on this planet is because we pity them. But it's no longer time for pity. It's time for an eye for a face and a tooth for a mouth. Because they've been allowed to carry on for too long slaughtering black people. I've seen a couple over a little white boy for speeding and ends up tying his tie so he could go to a job for an interview. Go to an interview for a job. Sandra Bland was going for a job and she got pulled over. She wasn't speeding. She just made forgot to make a turn signal. She ended up dead. Black guy, his child, his woman in the car going wherever they were going, asked to give his license. Reaching over to get his license, he was shot straight through the heart. The funny thing is, we all know that humans make mistakes and the police force is made up of humans, yet somehow every single murder of an African by a white policeman in America has been justified by the evil, white, genetically inferior, demonic shit stem that runs these United Snakes. Now, any right-thinking person would figure that out. Well, how is it that every single black person, from the child, little Tommy Rice, they found reasons to justify his death? Oh, he's little and black people are scary. How the fuck are we scary? Which continent have we been known to go to and murder and massacre people? I'll wait. The white man has gone to every planet, every continent on this planet and murdered, massacred animals, man, and plants. Yet somehow or the other, the black man is a threat. And right-thinking individuals accept this fuckery and allow white people to continue their wanton murder of black people without any forms of protest. I think it's time that the African diaspora, and I say African diaspora, I mean Africans all over the world should come together and start pooling our resources. We can actually starve the world. The African continent is the pillar of this planet. Everything the earth uses comes from there. So we can actually pull together and strangle the earth. All these big rich cracker dudes running around the planet waging wars, arming demons to justify murders and wars and genocide, we can put them out of business. Black Lives Matter. Pale, pink, genetically inferior, demonic scumbags do not. They cannot perpetuate our species. They lack the DNA, they lack the intellect, they lack the humanity. Black Lives Matter. Wake up, wise up, and rise up. Is 10,000 years past late.